You will take max
Mhm.
about 3 to 4 snapshots of a backup, not beyond that.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
So the solution architect came and said, the customer was not agreeing. Sir, you wanted 2 copies. That 2 copies is already taken care, sir. Primary, 2 backups. Then snapshots are taken. So are you clear in this? Customer was looking, yeah, okay. This was not clarified to us. When we went through the document and we found that is we can partition that and use 400 live this one, and 14 can be as backup devices if some of the slots fail. Those are supposed to be
Yes.
taken
Yes.
like that. So when we took that
Mhm.
piece, we found that we had the licenses for 400. The rest 14 was factored as backups, which we never thought about.
What it means is that every aspect you improve little bit, and then when you aggregate all of these gains that you have made, you become unbeatable. So what he did was, he of course streamlined the bicycle. Where do you keep the water bottle, heated pants? He taught them about, with doctors, the importance of
Hmm.
hygiene, because at that level, when you are an Olympian, even if you are sick with common cold or fever and you don't train for 3 or 4 days, you go back by a month,
Yeah.
right? So he just made sure that his team, the British team, is not falling sick regularly as compared to others. He painted the vehicles and the warehouses white, so that even a crack in the bicycle or a speck of dust is spotted and addressed. So much so that the British cyclists travel with their own pillows and mattresses, so that they get a good night's sleep compared to the competition. And all of these gains, then in Beijing and later on in London, they won pretty much all the medals in the Olympics. How do you start your day? How do you plan your day? How do you run your meetings? How do you build relationships? How do you write? How do you make storytelling presentations? How do you go to bed? How do you plan for tomorrow? The second part, which we talked about, is the ability to ask those questions to uncover not just what you typically sell. So the example I always give is that I think it was Ford that introduced. They realized that the biggest challenge their customers have is the ability to finance. So they've started providing car finance, and today that's a multi-billion-dollar business for not just for Ford but any car companies for that matter. So it's a complementary requirement of the customer that got added, and doubled the revenue for the car companies. Challenge them. Can you include those services in your ones and expand the work?